What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about the top 10 things to do in Canada. All of Canada. That's a lot of pressure to have a list of the top 10 things in all of Canada to do. I feel like there's got to be more than 10 things that are fun to do in Canada. But I think as far as this list goes, it's going to give me a really nice idea of a general, all over Canada, cool stuff, cool things to do. I love that it's things to do rather than just places to see, although that is cool in its own way. When there's stuff you can actually physically do, that's what I enjoy the most. Like an actual experience of going somewhere in Canada, and it's maybe like an actual event you take part in, or an activity, or maybe you're just looking at something. I don't know. All of it's pretty fun. But there's so many places and things in Canada that as an American, I've never heard of or like ever or experienced. So I'm really quite interested in how this is going to give me like a large sampling of things all over Canada that are fun to do. And without any further ado, let's take a look, right?
As some of you may know, I moved to Canada last year and I am in love with the country. It's so beautiful and there's so much to do.
Oh, this is great because the narrator here moved to Canada, so they have a perspective that's kind of like mine, where it's like things they're experiencing it as someone who didn't live there their whole life. So it's all new and exciting to them. So I think that'll translate to me understanding even better.
Dude, I've really struggled to narrow it down just to 10 things. So smush some cities together. They do deserve top 10s of their own, so maybe stay tuned for that. So grab yourself some poutine and let's get rolling, shall
Poutine. It's funny because I bet Canadians don't have any reaction to hearing poutine. But every time I see a picture of poutine and remember that it is a thing, I'm like, man, that looks good. I forgot that's a thing.
Shall we? Oh, Canada. In at number 10, we have Niagara Falls and Niagara on the Lake. Now the image...
It like blows my mind because Americans talk about Niagara Falls like plenty and a lot of Americans visit it. I had no idea it was in Canada. Like, how did I go my whole life and not know this? It's awesome, by the way. I've never been there, but look at it.
Of Niagara Falls is synonymous with Canada, and the falls themselves absolutely do not disappoint. Now, it literally looks like a giant has left the tap running, and on a sunny day, you can even spot rainbows over the falls. It's literally like if Disney did waterfalls.
This is like, not just in Canada, this is like a top thing on planet Earth to visit. So this definitely deserves to be on the list. I just can't believe I didn't know it was in Canada. I feel silly. I feel exposed.
Now the falls are also lit up at night with various coloured lights.
What? I'm sorry. I don't mean to pause it every 2 seconds, but what is this? When did this happen? That's awesome. That's really cool. I didn't know they did that. It's kind of like a combination of nature and technology.
Making them look pretty darn impressive. Now, the town of Niagara is actually a bit of a weird one. If you're into theme parks and like haunted houses, then this place is absolutely for you. There are also a number of casinos if you're feeling lucky. Also,
there's a town of Niagara in Canada? And that's cool that if you visit Niagara Falls, you can then visit the Niagara and have all this cool stuff to do. It's like the perfect vacation. You can visit the falls, get all your kicks, see it, soak it in, and then go gamble all your money away at the casino.
So nearby there is an absolutely beautiful town called Niagara on the Lake, which is very quaint. It's really pretty. It's got lovely architecture and lots of nice bistros to eat in. Again, nearby we also have wine country, and in the summer you can enjoy tastings in vineyards.
What?
Cheers. In at number 9.
I didn't know. This is like a destination, vacation, Niagara. It's not just Niagara Falls. There's a bunch of other cool stuff too. That's like perfect. People need to know about this. Like Americans need to know about this. This is awesome.
9, we have the East Coast cities. So I'm talking Toronto, Montreal, and Quebec City. Now, if I'd listed them individually, then
Okay.
we'd be losing precious points on this list. Now,
Okay.
Toronto is my city right here, and I absolutely love it. We've got the CN Tower, we've got the
Yeah, I have reacted to some of the stuff in Toronto in a previous video, and it is amazing. Although I know there's so much stuff there that I didn't get to see. But I have seen this tower, and it is incredible.
beautiful Toronto Islands, and we've got like craft beer aplenty, we've got sport, we've got theatre, we've got music, we've got parks, we've got streetcars, and joy. So much
Wow.
joy. So come visit us here in Toronto. Yes, do. Reachable by car, we also have Quebec City, which is absolutely stunning in the
Oh my gosh, I literally thought Quebec was a city. Then I recently learned it's like a region or territory. But within Quebec is Quebec City, so I didn't know that. And actually, almost every American thinks the city is called Quebec. And anyway, that's a thing.
the summer and the fall, with all of the fall colours being a major attraction. We also have Montreal, which is a definite foodie haven. Now, the city has
Oh.
the St. Lawrence River, Habitat 67, the Biodome, Montreal, and Schwartz's Delicatessen, which, by the way, did you know is owned by Celine Dion? Who knew? So I would love to do top 10s about each of these cities, so fingers crossed.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Yeah, it's exactly like what she's saying. Each of these deserve their own top 10. But I get kinda why she's grouping it together. It certainly is worth being one of the things on this list. A top thing to do in Canada is certainly visit the most famous and unbelievable cities in the country.
Meanwhile, you can check out Danny's top 10 facts about the CN Tower. Why not?
Oh,
So while you're
oh.
on the East Coast, you absolutely need to check out Canada's #1 baseball team, the one and only Blue Jays. That's
Oh. I didn't actually realize Canada was big into baseball. I just thought it was all hockey. Hockey, hockey, hockey. I want to see some hockey, by the way. Americans, it's like it's never on TV. It's super cool. We never get to see it. But I didn't know Canada was into baseball. That's kind of cool. I can relate, you know. We can bond over that, America and Canada. We can bond over some baseball. Okay.
right. At number 8, we have watch a Blue Jays game in Toronto. Now, these days the Jays are pretty good, and they are the only MLB team in Canada. Now,
They're part of the MLB? Here's the thing. I don't follow American professional baseball, although it is always on television, and it's probably, besides American football and basketball, baseball is like number 3 sport in popularity. And God, personally, I don't follow any sport very closely, except tennis, kind of. Anyway, I would definitely see a professional baseball team like live in Canada, though.
coming from England, where we don't have baseball, seeing a Jays game at the Rogers was insane. The spirit of Toronto absolutely comes alive when the Jays play, and everyone gets behind the team. Tickets are also quite reasonable if you want to sit way up high. You can also enjoy a nice ice-cold beer and hot dog while you watch.
Yeah.
Go Jays, go! So moving away from the East Coast for a sec, Canada is an absolutely huge country. So huge. You'd be
Yeah.
lucky if you could do all of the things on this list, because you actually would need to like fly between some of the locations. Now, there's
Right, that's a whole other thing. I never realized how gigantic Canada is. And that a lot of the major cities seem to be focused sort of towards the south and east. As far as the brief time I looked at the map in another reaction video. But there's so much more to it. There's probably like infinite things you could visit like for a lifetime.
There's roughly 4,300 kilometers between Toronto and the next place on this list. It would take you 5 hours in a plane and almost 2 days of non-stop driving. That's right, in at number 7, we have Vancouver and the Vancouver Islands. Vancouver
Okay.
is in British Columbia on the west coast of Canada. It's a city rather like Toronto in its hipsterness, but is surrounded by mountains.
Vancouver is a name a lot of Americans are familiar with the existence of this magical place called Vancouver, but we really don't know what's going on there or what we associate with Vancouver. It's just like, were aware of its existence.
So you've got Stanley Park, Gastown, the Seawall, Vancouver Island. It is amazing. Again, you have your
I didn't realize it was an island for sure. That's pretty cool.
usual city treats like a good music scene and good bars. There's also a pretty impressive suspension bridge and Science World. Side note, when Danny moved to Canada, he worked chopping wood in a place called Bella Bella just a couple of hours away from Vancouver. So there we go. Anyway, while you guys are over in BC, if it is the right season, then you should absolutely do the next thing on our top 10 list, and that is ski in Whistler. So Whistler has some of the best skiing in the world, from numerous runs, truly epic scenery. A trip to Whistler is the ultimate ski experience.
This is kind of funny because Americans, it's totally hit or miss if an American can ski well, or not at all, because we can only ski during parts of the year. I don't even ski, I snowboard. Do Canadians like to snowboard? Because it's kind of like, seems like 10% of Americans snowboard, 90% ski. When I do visit like a mountain nearby or something that has that. But a lot of Americans have never skied or snowboarded in their life just because it's not available widely in a lot of states. So this would be kind of, if this is very difficult mountain terrain, like advanced, a lot of Americans wouldn't even be able to take advantage of this.
Also, the food is incredible. So skiing in Whistler actually refers to skiing two mountains, Whistler and Blackcomb. Now, with more than 8,000 acres over two mountains, it is the largest skiable area in North America. And
Cool.
I absolutely cannot stress how insanely beautiful the scenery is.
Oh, that looks so awesome. And the fact that it's beautiful and it's like this cool athletic event thing you can do, that's great.
Also in the summer, the Whistler area is extremely beautiful. You can go mountain biking, hiking, you can get a kayak out on the lake. Also, look at the color of that lake water. Need I say anymore?
This is like exactly what I would want. Stuff that's beautiful, amazing new sights, but you get to hike it, you get to bike it, you can ski down it to your doom. But you get to experience amazing like scenery, but you also get to like actively participate, actively like, traverse it or do something cool. It's the best of both worlds. I love it.
Kayak out on the lake. Also, look at the color of that lake water. Need I say anymore? Similar, in at number 5, we have hiking in the Banff National Park / the Rocky Mountains. So you
Okay.
can also ski.
I mean, the Rocky Mountains are in the United States for sure, unless I've totally lost my mind. So it connects from the US into Canada? It must, right? Gosh, I hope I'm right.
We have hiking in the Banff National Park / the Rocky Mountains. So you
Okay.
can also ski in Banff in Alberta, and I hear the scenery is just as beautiful as Whistler. However, the
Yeah.
Rocky Mountains and Banff in particular are exceptionally beautiful in the summertime. Now, Banff National
Wow.
Park is the oldest national park in Canada, established in 1885.
I don't think I've ever been to any kind of national park, really. Looks beautiful. I guess one of the major things you could do, if it has a giant lake, is go on this lake and just be surrounded by unbelievable mountains and stuff. I've always lived in parts of America where there's no beautiful mountains and stuff, so they exist in some places in America, but this is like next level stuff.
Now, in the park, you have Lake Louise, which, I mean, look at it. Wow. Banff is an absolutely amazing place to do some wildlife spotting. Here you can see elk, moose, bighorn sheep, and even grizzly bears, although I don't recommend you get up close to those.
Yeah, that's definitely a Canadian thing. Like, you're not going to see any moose in America or in the United States, as far as I'm aware of. You might see a bear, but if you see a bear, you're in trouble. You're not where you should be.
Now, I for one would absolutely love to go camping in Banff, and camping amongst nature is like a really true Canadian experience. Why not also do some portaging? I like the word. It's also fun. We have the Calgary.
Portaging? Is that like canoeing? Like a boat? Americans are very hit or miss with camping as well. Americans, oh boy. You gotta be it's probably the same as in Canada, maybe a little different, but you gotta be a certain type of person, a little bit adventurous, a little bit okay with being uncomfortable, actually finding it to be fun in a way, being uncomfortable. But that's not most Americans, I think.
Calgary Stampede. Now, the Calgary Stampede is an annual rodeo held every July, and it is huge. Now, it calls itself the greatest outdoor show on earth, and to be fair, it is pretty massive. This thing lasts 10 whole days. As well as rodeos, there's chuck wagon racing, there are concerts, a parade, stage shows, and all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, they're wearing hats, like cowboy hats, and it's a rodeo. I didn't realize this kind of rodeo culture existed in Canada. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a U.S. Texas kind of thing. I've never been to a rodeo. I'd love to experience that whole thing. Never seen anything like that in person.
Now, the city literally comes alive, taking on a party atmosphere during the Stampede. People decorate their houses, they dress up in like Western cowboy style.
Is there a stampede? What stampede? Is there like a dangerous stampede? That just makes me want to see it even more.
Clothing, and the whole city just goes like pancake breakfast crazy and barbecue mad. This could be an absolutely perfect opportunity for you to try some pancakes with maple syrup and pea meal bacon.
Now we're talking. You don't need to tell an American twice. If there's pancakes with some real maple syrup and some bacon, there doesn't even need to be anything else going on. I'm there.
Yum. Oh my god, I'm also told that it's free, so go there. I'll be there. In at number 3, we have Fogo Island, iceberg, and whale watching. Now, every spring, iceberg season hits, and an excellent place to experience this is Fogo Island, which is just off the northern coast of Newfoundland in northern Canada. Now, from the island, you can watch icebergs literally float by before your very eyes.
What? Wow. I didn't know there was anywhere in North America where you could really reasonably go see an iceberg or something.
You can also take a trip around the Change Islands where you'll be able to spot humpback whales,
Or see a whale.
dolphins, and all kinds of birds. Now, on top of that, Fogo Island is a photographer's paradise with cute fisherman huts and like lots of nice colourful houses. It looks incredible.
Wow. Wow. This would be great as well. This is something I'd be okay with just going to just look at something, because that something is so incredible, like iceberg, a whale, dolphins, fun little houses on stilts.
In at number 2, we have Watch a Hockey Game. Now, I don't need to tell you that Canada is hockey mad. We've got the Montreal Canadiens, we've got Toronto Maple Leafs, Vancouver Canucks, Calgary Flames, the Edmonton Oilers, the Ottawa Senators. Seriously, people out here love hockey.
Hey.
Now,
What? Adobe? What are you doing? Get out of here. What? Adobe. All right, you got your little time during the video. There you go.
tickets aren't cheap for NHL games, but they are so worth it, and this is a true Canadian experience.
I would love to see a Canadian hockey game in the flesh, in real life. Are they violent? Like, in America, it's kind of a thing that hockey is super physical and violent, and I've never seen an American hockey game either in real life. But that's kind of right up my alley. Some athletic sport where there's a little bit of brutality and violence and people with their beer getting rowdy, you know, I could... Sounds like fun.
My one tip for you guys, if you do want to do hockey on the cheap, why not go see a lower league game? For example, you can see the Toronto Marlies, and for just $50, you can sit in like the front row, which is pretty exciting, especially if you're me. Okay guys, so
Yeah, that actually makes a difference to me. Like, if you do go to a sporting event, I want to be as close as possible to, like, I enjoy literally seeing the athletes performing in real life. Like, not just there for the experience. Like, I wanna see some crazy stuff up close.
we have reached that all-important moment in our top 10 things to do in Canada. Obviously, before I get to number 1, I need to suggest that you eat some Canadian food like poutine, pea meal bacon, like douse yourself in maple syrup and eat some butter tarts because it's great. Then maybe go to the gym. So there we are, guys, at number...
Oh, is that the way to really acclimate yourself to Canada? To arrive and immediately submerge yourself in syrup and poutine, and you will be ready to assimilate into the Canadian culture. Okay.
One, what could I possibly say? I've tried to pick something for you that you can do in every province, so you can do it wherever you go in Canada. In at number one, we have go for a cottage vacation. Now, if there is one thing I know about Canadians, it's that they absolutely love their cottage life. Now, many
Cottaging. That's not really a word in America. No one would know what you're talking about. But I understand what it means at the same time. Cottaging. What technically is a cottage? Like a nice little house? I mean, obviously that's what we're looking at right here. That's a beautiful little house on some poles on rocks. I mean, okay. Is this like an Airbnb kind of thing where you can rent them? And definitely seems like it'd be a fun time.
Canadians will actually own cottages in the countryside, and if you're lucky, they may even let you stay with them. But if you aren't friends with a Canadian who has a cottage, you can certainly rent one out. I, for one, spent my Easter at a cottage on the beautiful Bruce Peninsula. You can actually see it for yourself on my vlog channel, and it was incredible. Now, there are cottages.
I think this is something Americans would love, for sure. I think most people would love this, right? It kind of pampering yourself, kind of living the high life. Go to some beautiful part of Canada, like in the background of her right now, on a lake or something in nature, and be in this awesome little cottage. That would be like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Cottages all across Canada, and the best place to stay is probably somewhere on a lake so you can enjoy some kayaking and water sports in the summer. Most have like barbecues outside, and they're huge, they're lovely, they'll have big yards. That said, they're also excellent in the winter. Many cottages have log fires and plenty of hiking trails nearby. And really, hiking through the countryside is the best way to see and experience Canada. So one more round of Oh Canada from me here. I'm pretty excited. That was the top 10 things to do in Canada. Did I miss anything out? Honestly, do let me know in the comment section down below, because I want to know and I want to go. Because moving...
I think that's it. I think that's the end. That was by Most Amazing Top 10. That was awesome. Very nice video. I liked that very much. Yeah, just 10 more reasons to go to Canada. Not surprisingly, like all 10 of those were amazing, beautiful, and like I was saying earlier, it's not always stuff that you just have to go and see with your eyeballs, which, don't get me wrong, if it's a new experience, that's amazing. But a lot of this stuff actually has you hiking it, or kayaking it, or exploring, or, you know, or watching something crazy like a hockey game. I love that kind of thing, that kind of dynamic when kind of choosing cool stuff to do in a faraway place on vacation. So I totally agree with these. These are great. But I still think this only scratched the surface of top amazing stuff you can do in Canada. I think you could get way specific with the individual cities and all the places and what exactly you can do and visit. But the narrator was kind of alluding to that as well. But as far as a general top 10, this was great. That was extremely enjoyable, and I totally get it. Anyway, if you found this video enjoyable, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada, Canadian culture, places, stuff I've never seen ever before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thank you for watching, and see you next time.